After listening to what Nieli said, the eyes of the commoners in the class lit up. They are all aware of Lord Yimo's story. He was an example to follow when one wants to become a powerful existence. Except, the words that Shinshio spoke of earlier were simply too harsh. This caused them to be depressed. In the hundreds of years of Glory City, Lord Yimo's the only one able to climb to the peak by relying on his own ability, said Shinshio, showing a moment of lag. She quickly retaliated with her far-fetched reply. But didn't teacher Shinshio say that it's impossible? Why are you being so self-contradicting? Nieli coldly sneered. Lord Yimo is a clear-cut example. No matter if it's a noble or commoner, the future's potential is infinite. Nothing is difficult, as long as one is willing to climb. Shinshio almost exploded. This guy is too spiteful. He keeps catching the loopholes in her words and constantly attacks. He has no respect for an elder. She gazed coldly at Nieli. He dared to openly contradict her in front of so many people. She'll not let Nieli have it easy in the coming future. 10. Not far away from Nieli, Duze looked at Nieli. His eyes were full of gratitude. Although Nieli is a noble, he still ran the risk of offending teacher Shinshio by helping the commoners speak up. This made him very touched. A teenager's heart is very primitive, hence, he has already saw Nieli as his friend. 1. But didn't look at how many people have failed. Not to mention being a demon. Spiritualist, even becoming a fighter in itself is a difficult thing to achieve. Yeah. Lee, right? You can be considered a bloodline of an aristocratic family. Since you don't know when to come and go, I'll see what kind of talent you have. Shinshio lowered her head and took a look at the parchment paper in her hands. After taking a glimpse of the contents, she mockingly laughed. Nieli. Red Soul Realm, current Soul Force 5, Strength 21. With your talent you can only reach bronze rank fighter in your entire life. Wanting to become a demon spiritualist is simply impossible. You're even inferior to some of the commoners. No wonder you dare to speak in this way. You are just trying to hide your own low self-esteem. 3. A soul realm's grade is differentiated by the colors, red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, azure, and indigo. Of the 7 different grades, red is considered the worst. It's the weakest to the lowest level. An average person would have an orange or yellow soul realm. Having a green or cyan soul realm could already be considered a genius. As for azure and indigo soul realms, they have only existed in legends. 1. After hearing what Shinshio said, the group of commoner students began to feel sorry for Nieli. As someone of nobility, Nieli's talent could be considered the worst. They fear that it would be difficult for him to have any achievements in his life. Yi Ziyun looked at Nieli and sighed gently. Although her impression of Nieli isn't good, knowing his talent is so terrible, she couldn't help feeling sorry for him. Xinyu, who is sitting next to Yi Ziyun, curled his lips in disdain. If he knew sooner of Nieli's horrible talent, he wouldn't have considered Nieli a threat. As Nieli is simply not qualified. With his horrible talent, he could only live at the lowest levels of Glory City, and he, Xinyu, was one of the 3 major families. As a sacred family direct bloodline, how could Nieli compete with him? If it wasn't for Yi Ziyun, he wouldn't even come to this trash class and be in the company of trash like Nieli. Shinshio aggressively continued, with such talent, even within your family, you won't be able to get any attention. Yet, you act so rampant and are rude to your elders. Shinshio words made Nieli recall his past. Before Glory City was destroyed, Li was indeed very weak. Just as Shinshio said, he had remained a 3-star bronze rank and was unable to advance any further. No attention was given to him, no matter if it's within the institute or back with his family. He was treated as if he was dust. Rank demon spiritualist at that point of time. The distance between the two was like a chasm. In the end, Nieli wasn't even qualified to fight beside Yi Ziyun. He could only watch as Yi Ziyun died by the claws of a beast in front of him as her body slowly submerged into the desert sand. 1. This had always been a needle in Nieli's heart. With pure luck, he walked out of the endless desert alive. Nieli had various mysterious encounters and realized that even the so-called soul force talent could also be upgraded. If this was his past life, Nieli certainly wouldn't have the courage to refute when being criticized by a teacher. But he's different now. He's confident that one day he will let these people who look down on him know that he will reach a realm that they can never imagine. Since he's back, he must be indomitable, even if it means slaughtering any gods or Buddha stopping his path. 4. Everyone was surprised that even though Nieli was being ridiculed by teacher Shinshio, there wasn't any shame shown on his face, but on the contrary, his gaze was firmly locked onto Shinshio's, and he said, "Teacher Shinshio, you feel that a person's soul realm decides a person's future, right? With that despicable character of yours, you'll only defend the gifted and mock the mediocre. And yet, you still speak a bunch of principles. You're just merely trying to cover your despicable character." Hearing Nieli's words, Shinshio's body quivered with anger. She had never met this kind of student. He actually dared to contradict her so badly. Nieli's words directly hit the hidden thoughts within her heart, causing her to be enraged. She cursed uncontrollably. "Silence. Who do you think you are to discredit your teacher?" Nieli curled his lips in disdain. "I feel ashamed to have a teacher like you. I can guarantee that in this class there will be a lot of commoners exceeding your imagination. They will have unimaginable achievements. Instead of coaching them patiently, you use harsh words to attack their self-confidence. You're not worthy to be a teacher. Although my talent is weak, so what? One day, I will become a legend rank demon spiritualist like Lord Imm and marry the most beautiful woman in Glory City." 2. As he spoke, Nieli's gaze fell on Yi Ziyun, who was sitting far away. His eyes shined with an absolute resolve. Thought that Nieli would actually be so bold and say something like this in class. After meeting Nieli's gaze, she knew his meaning was clear. Except, in her heart, she doesn't have any feelings for Nieli. After hearing Nieli's speech, she had an indescribable feeling within her. Seeing Yi Ziyun's expression, Shinyu's face turned a dull color. Although he and Nieli aren't of the same standard, he still felt a bit threatened by him. "This is the funniest joke I've ever heard. A Red Soul Realm actually said that he wants to become a legend-ranked demon spiritualist like Lord Imm. Even when Lord Imm was younger, he was already tested and showed to have amazing talent. He had a Cyan Soul Realm. You think success relies on luck alone? Ridiculous." Shinsu mocked mercilessly, rather than being a smart mouth here. "Why don't you start learning seriously?" Nieli's next words were powerful and resonating. "I know your heart is full of contempt, but one day I will shut your mouth with hard facts. Aptitude cannot determine a person's achievement. We use the weak to defeat the strong, to overcome the heavens. We practitioners are already challenging the impossible by going against the way of the heavens. 5. Nia Li's words couldn't stop causing the students in the class to feel their blood surging. Practicing was already going against the way of the heavens. If one did not oppose the heavens, how could they talk about practice? 2. Nia Li enunciated powerfully, without a continuously fighting heart, without the courage to turn the impossible possible, even possessing extraordinary talent would be useless. Since I, Nia Li, was born into this world, I shall challenge the impossible. Teacher Shinshio, how about having a bet with me? Although Nia Li experienced numerous setbacks in his previous life, he never gave up. Since the heavens gave him the chance to be reborn, in this life he will use unimaginable speed to climb to the top. What bet? Shinshio sneered. We'll bet that on the coming test in 2 months' time, I will be able to reach bronze rank. If I fail to do so, I will resign from the institute. If I reach bronze rank, then you will resign, how about it? Nia Li said unyieldingly, looking at Shinshio. Listening to what Nia Li said, everyone was taken aback. They were all surprised that Nia Li actually proposed this kind of bet with teacher Shinshio. Although they were hoping that Nia Li wins, they felt that there's no way that Nia Li can win. 2 months? Shinshio's face was full of spite. Has Nia Li gone crazy? I only asked one question. Do you dare or not? Nia Li ignored what Shinshio just said. That being the case, why would I not dare? I do not believe an egotistical brat like you can achieve anything. Who do you think you are boasting to? Shinshio angrily snorted, such rudeness to your teacher. For the next 2 months, you will stand at the back of the classroom and listen to the class. Shinshio's famous for being unreasonable. Nia Li looked contemptuously at Shinshio. So what if he's standing at the back of the class? For Nia Li, this little punishment is superficial. Since teacher Shinshio agreed to the bet, don't regret it later, said Nia Li as he strolled to the back of the class. I'll regret it? What a joke. Don't come crying to me later. Shinshio laughed. Seeing Nia Li standing at the back, a few noble kids started to mockingly whisper. The future legend ranked demon spiritualist got punished standing. TSK, so he's afraid of withdrawal from the institute. Weren't you being egotistic a while ago? 2 months to raise his soul force from 5 to 100. Who does he think he is? Even when Lord Imm was younger, he couldn't even reach a such frightening speed. Shinshio sneered. So what if Nia Li is being egotistic? Doesn't she still have the final word in the classroom? She naturally didn't bother with what Nia Li said. 2 months to raise his soul force from 5 to 100. Shinshio thought of it as a joke. This will absolutely not happen. Just look forward to Nia Li's withdrawal from the institute. Because Nia Li was punished to stand at the back of the class by Shinshio, Du Zhe was silent for a moment. He gritted his teeth, then rose up and went to stand beside Nia Li was punished for helping the commoners speak up, so naturally, he wants to stand together with Nia Li. Seeing that Du Zhe stood beside Nia Li at the back of the class, Shinshio's eyes darkened and hummed, since you also like standing, you can stand together with him. Nia Li and Du Zhe looked at each other. Their eyes flashed a sense of rapport and lightly smiled at each other. At this moment, Nieli felt as though he was back in his past life when he and Duze were best friends. Duze is still that Duze. Nieli smiled as he asked, "Why are you here?" Lu Piao shrugged, "Sitting down is pretty boring. I feel more cool standing. Can't I?" 1. That suits you. Nieli laughed. Lu Piao is still the same as his past. Although he speaks a lot of bullshit, he is very loyal. This punishment had nothing to do with Lu Piao, but he thought of Nieli as a friend, and friends should share their fates together. 1. Successively, 3 other commoner kids stood up and stood by Nieli's side. Nieli belonged to a noble family, but he took the risk of withdrawing from the institute to speak up for them. They were grateful for that, so they felt that they have to support Nieli. 3. With these brothers by his side, Nieli felt that it wasn't so bad to be punished. And his mood turned exceptionally cheerful. 1. When she saw this, Shinshio's facial expression turned ugly. She put on a cold face and continued her lecture. 1. After being tested, among the students in this class, Yi Ziyun, with a cyan soul realm, has a soul force of 86. Shenyu and Xiao Ning both have a green soul realm, with a soul force of 78. They will soon reach 1-star bronze rank. Congratulations to them. Shinshio lightly said. Her gaze fell on Nieli for a moment. This is real talent. What's Nieli compared to them? 1. Listening to Shinshio's words, the students in the class all cried out in surprise. A cyan soul realm, with a soul force of 86. Such an amazing person is actually in their class. With such powerful talent, she's got the chance to become a legend. Rank demon spiritualist in her lifetime. As for Shinyu and Xiao Ning, they also had extraordinary talent. Their future achievements were limitless. Yi Ziyun's origins were unknown. She was a fresh and beautiful appearance, with an extraordinary talent and mysterious background. This made her the most dazzling figure in the class. As for Xiao Ning, her appearance was not any less than Yi Ziyun, but her talent was slightly inferior compared to her. 2. No matter what, ordinary people have no hope of catching up to them. 1. Nieli glanced towards Xiao Ning. She had a slim figure, was wearing a short yellow skirt, and a pair of high-heeled boots. Her black was hair draped over her shoulders. She had bright, clear eyes, curved eyebrows, and long eyelashes that slightly trembled. Her flawless white skin revealed touches of pink, and delicate lips were like rose petals. 9. Aside from having a charming feel to her, she had an indescribable, wild beauty. And a cold expression on her face that added a different kind of taste. 1. Nieli's eyes went heavy when he remembered that Xiao Ning was the first child of the winged dragon family. She was part of one of the 7 noble families. Her soul force talent was only beneath Yi Ziyun. Before Glory City was destroyed, she had already become a silver-rank demon spiritualist. Together with Yi Ziyun, they became the younger generation's twin Gemini. 1. The only thing is, in order to curry favor with one of the 3 major families, the winged dragon family forced Xiao Ning to marry into the sacred family. She would have had to marry Shin Yu's elder brother, but she was unwilling. Hence, she left her family and went into the Saint Ancestral Mountains Black Devil Forest and never came back. She's an unyielding woman. Nieli felt sorry for Xiao Ning. If given the chance, he will definitely help Xiao Ning. In this life, But if asked if he had any affection for Xiao Ning, there would be none. In Ye Li's heart, there's only Yi Ziyun. 9. In the Fighter and Demon Spiritualist tests in 2 months' time, I hope that there will be a few 1-star bronze rank Demon Spiritualists. Both myself and the Holy Orchid Institute will feel proud of you. Shinshio laughed. Bronze, silver, gold, black gold, legend, these 5 ranks are further broken down into 1 to 5-star levels, and thus obtaining a 1-star bronze rank is considered the starting point. Once a fighter's strength or demon spiritualist soul force reaches 100, they can be considered a 1-star bronze rank. Entering the entry level is extremely difficult. Lots of people are unable to step into the entry level to become a real fighter or demon spiritualist. Hearing Shinshio's words, the students in the class started whispering to one another. In order to become a 1-star bronze rank fighter, you must be able to lift up a 100-pound rock and break a tree as thick as an arm with a punch. In order to reach 1-star bronze rank. For these kids, it's simply too difficult. Unless one has been consuming elixirs since birth, it will be hard to achieve. As for becoming a demon spiritualist, one is required to refine a large amount of soul force within their body. This is a lot harder to accomplish compared to becoming a fighter. Become a demon spiritualist, it is nearly impossible. They would normally choose to become a fighter instead. As for people with orange and yellow soul realms, they're more suitable to train in soul force. The people with green or cyan soul realms are considered extraordinary talents. 1. The students in the class all looked at Yi Ziyun, Shenyu, and Xiao Ning. They envied them because they are the only ones that could become a 1-star bronze rank in less than half a year. After becoming a 1-star bronze rank, they can then enter into the official fighter class or official demon spiritualist class. At that time, they won't be in the same class as them. Feeling the gaze of other students, Shinyu proudly puffed his chest out. As a member of the sacred family, he's had all kinds of elixirs ever since he was young. He has already long surpassed his peers. It would be an easy thing to get his soul force to hit 100 in 2 months. He shall await the test in 2 months' time. Shinyu looked at the elegant Yi Ziyun beside him. Only he's worth of her, yeah. Li's considered nothing. He actually dared to bet with his aunt that he will become a 1-star bronze rank in 2 months. So egotistical and ignorant. Nye Li thought that it's easy to become a 1-star bronze rank? A red soul realm trash dared to make such an egotistical statement? Ha! 7. Yi Ziyun and Xiao Ning looked each other in the eyes. They both had superior origins, which was certainly not bad. Yi Ziyun always wanted to be friends with Xiao Ning. But Xiao Ning had always seen her as a rival. She set her as the target and continued to work hard to reach her. Shinshio looked towards Nye Li with contempt in her eyes and spoke in a disdainful tone, as for those who claim they can reach 1-star bronze rank within 2 months, I want to see to what extent they can actually reach. One's soul realm and physical condition determines a person's cultivation speed. For Nye Li's situation, according to normal levels, he would need at least 3 to 5 years to reach entry level. Even if he becomes 1-star bronze rank, becoming a demon spiritualist while having a red soul realm is simply dreaming. Nye Li did not put Shinshio's words to heart. 2 months? There's still time to spare, said Nye Li as the side of his mouth upturned, showing a faint confident smile. Watch how I'll become 1-star bronze rank within 2 months. Privately, Nieli, Lu Piao and Du Zhe were conversing. Nieli, do you like Yi Ziyun? Lu Piao asked, looking at Nieli. Lu Piao stared into Nieli's eyes. After a while he sighed, Yi Ziyun's a beauty. Indeed. And seeing that you're my brother, I shall not fight with you. But as a brother, I have to warn you, Yi Ziyun's identity is too noble. She isn't someone we can match. 1. Although his family belongs to one of the 12 aristocratic families, Yi Ziyun's identity compared to him is simply astronomical. You too, can you be more realistic? Yi Ziyun's a super genius with a Saiyan soul realm. Soon she'll become a 1-star bronze rank demon spiritualist. I estimate that in 2 months' time she'll be able to enter the official demon spiritualist class. After entering the official demon spiritualist class, her cultivation will definitely soar. Whether she remembers you or not is still a problem. What I hate the most is your kind of noble offspring is constantly thinking of how to chase after girls when you don't even know how to work hard and train. Du Zhe snorted relentlessly. 1. What do you mean by noble offspring constantly thinking of chasing after girls? You're slandering. I've always been hardworking, okay? At most, I've only used half a day to think of girls. Lu Piao shrugged his shoulders. 3. Good heavens. What kind of people did I get involved with, said Du Zhe, rolling his eyes. Du Zhe's talent isn't bad. He has a yellow soul realm and works very hard with his training. Plus, he would have a mysterious encounter later on, which would allow him to reach the stage of 1-star gold rank demon spiritualist. He would lead his family and become one of the aristocratic families. These are amazing achievements. Du Zhe's a very loyal person, but slightly old-fashioned and takes things seriously. In contrast with Du Zhe, Lu Piao's a dandyish young master. Although he only has a red soul realm, he had high fighter talents. If he puts in the effort and works hard, his cultivation would definitely soar. However, he's simply too lazy. In Nieli's previous life, he only reached silver rank, had a huge difference compared to Du Zhe. But life is intriguing. Although they are two completely different kinds of people, they still became brothers in their previous life. Listening to Lu Piao and Du Zhe's arguments, Nieli in his previous life used to feel that it was unhealthy. But right now, Nieli's heart was touched. He has these kinds of brothers, how fantastic. Nieli, I recommend you to give up. Focus on your training instead, Du Zhe said, persuading Nieli seriously. If Nieli really fell for her, it'll be an extremely sad thing. This life, if he's still as useless as a scrap of wood, he might as well commit suicide. Don't worry, I'm well aware of the things that I want to do and they will definitely be accomplished. Nieli spoke with confidence. Listening to Nieli's words, Du Zhe and Lu Piao staggered for a moment. They're unable to imagine where Nieli got such confidence. After they saw Nieli's expression, they had a feeling that he could certainly accomplish it. They couldn't help but be influenced by Nieli's mood. De Zhu thought for a moment and spoke up, fine. No matter what you do, we will always support you. 3. Being punished and standing together caused them to produce a strong brotherly relationship. Du Zhe, Lu Piao, I will let the both of you become the strongest demon spiritualists, Nieli said heavily. In his previous life, Du Zhe and Lu Piao shared Life and death with him. They had fought and saved his life many times, and now that he's back, he'll naturally help Du Zhe and Lu Piao fulfill their dreams. Forget it. I only have a red soul realm. With the support of my family's elixirs, becoming a fighter wouldn't be an issue. Becoming a demon spiritualist would be too hard, said Lu Piao, starting to back out. What's the use of becoming a fighter? The higher you